Welcome. I am Ernie Goss, research economist with AIM, that's Applied Information Management, here in Denver, Colorado. Today I'm here to report on the Workforce Index for Colorado for the month of August. Now, what is the Workforce Index? The Workforce Index is the number of online job openings relative to the number of unemployed. So the higher the number, and the number ranges between 0 and 100, the higher the number, the higher that index, the better. So what are we looking at? Well, we release this the second Tuesday of each month, and here we are, the second Tuesday of the month. And the index for Colorado moved from 69.5 to 69.0, so down ever so slightly. Is that an issue? No. It's still in a good, strong range. Anything above 50, again, 50 is growth neutral. So that was a good number. In fact, Colorado was a 16th best in the nation. That was in July. Now for August, it's the 13th best in the nation. So that's a good movement, moving in the right direction. And and when we look at Colorado, it's one of the better areas to be looking for jobs. Certainly when we look at online job openings, which is a measure of overall job openings. And I know some of you are saying, well, if things are so good, why do I feel so bad? And some of you are out there, I know, that are listening to this. You're looking for a job, and of course for you it is tough, even with this expanding labor market. Now what's happening, of course, is the economy is adding a lot of part-time workers. That's below 36 hours. It's also adding a lot of jobs on the lower end of the wage scale. So that's the real problem. That's why we're not seeing the economy really kicking up, even as we're adding jobs and even as the our workforce index is in a really good range. Now, where are the jobs? In terms of just aggregate numbers for Colorado, sales. Sales is a good area for Colorado in terms of the number of online jobs versus the unemployment rate. In management. Management's a very strong area out there for Colorado. And third, customer service positions. That's also a very good, strong area for Colorado. Now, relative to the number of employed workers, in other words, now we take the number of online job listings versus the number of workers. So the higher, where is that number best? Well, first off, finance. Finance area, we're seeing that is a growing area, financial openings in the finance area. Second, engineering. Of course, very good. That's connected in many cases with manufacturing or linked to manufacturing. And customer services, that's the final area looking very good. Now here you see the graph, and you see for Colorado's numbers, you see the ranking there in red, and you see the readings, the index readings in blue. So Colorado's looking very strong, and you see it for the last 4 months. Now here are the top states. Now for August, where are the top states in the U.S.? No surprise to anybody, North Dakota. North Dakota, since we began this survey in May, began tracking it in May, North Dakota has been the top state. South Dakota, secondly. Of course, both of those, agriculture and energy, connected there, doing very well. Minnesota, number 3. So that's we're talking about 3 states right there together doing very well. Iowa, number 4. All states right in what some call the Great Plains, what we call sometimes the Mid-America region. And then finally, Kansas. So the top 5 states are all right here in the midsection of the country. The bottom states, where are the worst areas for online job openings? Mississippi. Mississippi's not good, number 50. 49, Maine. 48, California. 47, New York. 46, Alabama. So you see Alabama and Mississippi right there in the southeast not doing as well. California and Maine and New York also. Now, that's the summary of our list, our results of our online, our workforce index. And now, what are things you can watch going forward in terms of the economy? And I'm looking at it from an economist standpoint, not necessarily a business person. You'd hope they're the same, but sometimes they do differ. Watch for the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. That number has been coming down. That's not such a bad thing. We're seeing 13% year-over-year price growth. Too strong, not sustainable. Need to see it moving down. Census Bureau releases its housing starts. That needs to be ticking up. It's been coming down. Seeing some weakness in the housing market, even with very low mortgage rates. So that's something else to watch. Keep an eye on the 10-year Treasury. That's the best indicator of all. It's been coming down because of lower inflation, perhaps, but also a lot of folks fleeing other areas of the globe. And I've said this before, it's sort of the healthiest horse in the glue factory. Everybody wants to sell bonds, Argentina bonds, and buy U.S. bonds. They want to sell Ukrainian bonds and buy U.S. bonds, or Russian bonds, buy U.S. bonds. That's what we're seeing. So those two factors, we don't know which one is predominant. Keep an eye on that. CPI, Consumer Price Index, for August and September, released on September the 17th and October the 22nd. Those we need to see in the sweet spot, 2 to 3%, no problem. Below 1, that's a problem. That indicates too much, not enough inflation. Above 3%, that's getting in the high range, too much inflation. So that's what we're looking for, the sweet spot, 2 to 3% year over year. I'm talking about August to August and September to September. Keep an eye on that. Purchasing management indices, that's the supply managers. Those come out the first business day of the month. Of course, again, we come out with our survey results on the second Tuesday of the month, and here we are for the month of August. We're reporting in September. Now, what are the risk factors? What are the risk factors out there for all of us? High inflation, higher inflation, and lower inflation. Now, again, we're at a turning point. And for economists, that's always a tough area. In other words, it's always easy when you got an upward trend or you got a downward trend. Here we're at a turning point, and that's, in other words, turning point to either higher inflation or lower inflation. So it makes it very difficult. Watch the numbers. Housing market, as I said earlier, keep an eye on the housing market. We need to see more building activity, less price growth. Oil prices, if they bounced above $100 a barrel, I don't expect that, but certainly with supply disruptions in the Middle East, that could happen, not likely. Trade embargoes, although Colorado doesn't do a lot of selling in Russia, but embargoes on Russia, they do spill over. We see that. That's a real issue going forward, and as we have trade embargoes spreading. That's certainly an issue. Finally, Europe. Europe is slowing down. It's, in fact, I would argue it's back in a recession again. And that's, of course, recessionary economies don't buy a lot of our goods. That's part of the issue. But also part of the issue is when they see this slowdown, they tend to reduce their interest rates, which tends to reduce their value of their currency, the euro, and raise the value of our currency, the dollar. And that tends to hurt our exporters, our manufacturers, our food producers, our agricultural sector. So that's a real key going forward. So that's it. That's it. I'm Ernie Goss with AIM of Denver here on the second Tuesday of the month of September, reporting results for August. It was a good month. It could be better, but not much better for Colorado. Until now, in the second Tuesday of October, may your economic cup runneth over. Thank you.